Okay, I need to add Marianna. Hang on, how do I add someone? Share. It's because my room is like the furthest away from everything in this house, so the Wi-Fi is horrible. But we're still just waiting for Marianna to join. I have no idea where she is. But we're discussing From Blood and Ash today. I have like tabbed everything I want to talk about. We're just waiting for Marianna. Oh. Invite. Hello.
Can you hear me?
See you. I can't see you.
You can't see me?
No.
Oh no. Can you see me now?
See you now. Oh my gosh, you're so cute.
Aw, thanks. I am prepped and ready.
Oh my gosh, stop it.
I've got a big bowl of popcorn, my water bottle's over there. And the book of the hour. I'm so excited.
I didn't end up like rereading it and tabbing everything again. I kind of just left my old tabs and I was like, you know what, we can just talk about everything.
Oh, love. Yeah, I don't know what my tabbing system was at the point of reading this because it doesn't look I had that many tabs. There's a lot of purple, and usually purple means something rare. So
yeah,
I was like, I have like a different system going on here, but
a different meaning. I mean, I don't even know what my system was. I mean, mine's a pretty basic system. Like, yellow is like something that made me smile, which is like pretty obvious. And there's a lot of yellow, but you know why? It's because Hawke was iconic in book one. He really was. And then like pink was like the cute moment. And these are like the old tabs I used. So like this one right here, it's like the color is faded because I must have left like the book in the sun or something. I don't know. But like I don't know what those tabs are, but we will find out. We will find out.
All right. I almost forgot to change it to no copyright music. That would have been bad. Do we say, I mean, this is going to be spoilery for this book specifically.
I put it in the name of the thing that it's a spoilery discussion. And for the awkward, like, 2 minutes that I was on my own, I was just constantly saying that it's a spoilery discussion.
Right. I literally was sitting here eating popcorn, watching an edit, and I was just like, when's she gonna... And then I realized. Anyway, here we are.
I was waiting.
I love that for us.
Now, did I read this before you? Like, did I read From Blood and Ash before you?
Yes, because you knew about Kieran before. Oh my goodness.
And you knew about Kieran. Just so you know, you're gonna love this man, but he's mine. I was like, you can love him, but just know that I loved him first. I remember that now.
Whether or not he's yours or mine, that is up to him, but you did indeed love him first. That I cannot deny.
Oh my gosh, I remember there was so much hype around this book, but like, I'm gonna like bring up my first tab because it's like literally right at the beginning of the book. Because when it opens, we're like in like a brothel, aren't we? Like Poppy.
Yep.
Poppy literally like had like left her little secure home and she like went into the brothel. I think she was trying to figure it out. Now, there was a lady that she spoke to right at the beginning. Yes. Didn't that end up being like... It did. I don't know if I can say it, but like it ended up being someone important. But I remember when I was reading it and she's talking to this lady, I was like, I'm going to tab this because I feel like this woman's going to come back and be somebody important like later on in the series. And she did. And I was like, but we literally meet.
She really did.
Like immediately. And that like, I loved that because I was just like, normally we have to wait like a few chapters before we actually meet the love interest or like the person that we hear so much about. But he literally was just
we really jumped in.
Bitches.
The pedal was on the floor with this one. And I specifically remember I read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo before it, and I had been waiting to read For Blood and Ash for like a year. I was in the middle of The Seven Husbands and I was like, oh, okay, I'm not really vibing this book. I'll just like skim through it. That's not what happened. I had a really hard time. Like, if this book didn't start the way it did, I would have really struggled reading it. I feel like I would have been so caught up in Seven Husbands, but because of how like kickstart, it is.
Dive right in.
Oh. Characters come in, and kind of following what you said, characters come in a lot sooner than you think.
I know, and I did love that about it.
Yeah. Anyway, first tab. Go ahead.
My first tab is on page 45. And it's like, when she was like, he's like, do you always lie? And she's like, no. And he's like, liar. I love it. But that whole scene with the two of them, I was just like, oh my word, Jennifer, you're really just like jumping right. I would not have been able to lie. Like, I immediately would have been like, I'm just going to leave now before I embarrass myself further. So I'm like, go Poppy.
And the way that my hair is red right now while we're doing this.
I know.
Damn. Okay, I'm not seeing it, but I'm trusting you. I'm not seeing it, but I'm trusting you.
Your the other thing is that might be different because you've got a different copy.
Yeah, I've got the hardcover. So we'll see how it goes. I think I know what you're talking about, though. I read this over a year ago now, which is very sad to say. So this will be fun to like go back and remember.
Yeah.
But the way that they just instantly, you can tell that Hawk just instantly has something going on. We've got 222 likes. Woo! Something like subconsciously going on in his brain as he's like kind of taking her in a little bit. Like, okay, you're not who he
didn't expect her.
Was expecting, but I'm interested to see where this goes. You know what I mean? And I love it.
I do. I love it. And okay, my next tab was when he first says, "You've wounded me, princess." I love it.
That I've allowed the nickname princess because I don't like that nickname otherwise.
Yeah.
When I'm like, okay.
You're breaking up on me.
Like spin.
You're back.
Oh no. Oh no. Oops.
Am I frozen?
I think my connection's poor, but I'm scared. You kind of go in and out a little bit, but I think it's because you're just trying to hear what I'm saying. If you know what I mean.
I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
I always can hear you.
Oh, okay. So it's just me.
Okay. Well, it might be me because it's saying that my connection's poor, and I'm like...
Right. Well.
Oh.
Where's your first tab?
Let's see. Ooh, wait a minute. Okay, so one of them says not all guards are good men, princess. So that'd be Hawk. He says not all guards are good men. And strength. So that, when I read that, I was like, ooh. So you think about all the different, not villains, but darker characters in like any realm, they gotta all have some sort of sense of bravery or like courage to do what they're doing because they're stepping out of the norm, right?
Yeah.
So I loved that. I think there really was no color coordination here, so I'm just gonna kind of jump around and see what works. But
that's fair.
That was on page 39.
Oh, I love that.
But yeah, bravery and strength do not equal goodness. That was a really good quote that I tabbed.
That is. I feel like Blood Mash has had like a lot of really good quotes, which I'm looking forward to rereading it because I don't think I really cared much about like the quotes when I first read it. I was just like, Hawk.
He's a man. He's a man. This is the book that I gave my aunt to read, and she read all of them in like less than a month. And I was like, you're welcome. I was like, you're welcome. Personally, I think that's a personal question. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Yes.
I like pineapple pizza, but that doesn't make Hawaiian. That would be my
Pineapple
answer.
belongs on pizza. I wholeheartedly believe that.
I like it. I think it's good.
Oh, I tabbed this quote.
Where's your next tab, darling?
Death is like an old friend who pays a visit, sometimes when it's least expected and other times when you're waiting for her. It's neither the first nor the last time she'll pay a visit, but that doesn't make death any less harsh or unforgiving. I loved that quote. I'm pretty sure we've posted that on our Tea-Stained page, I think.
Probably. I love how it references death as a...
She. Nesta?
Yeah.
Are we talking about Nesta?
Well, here's the... Oh, I can't say... Did you have... Okay, you need to finish Crescent City too, like, right the frick now. All right. Next time, moving on before I explode.
By the way, guys, I am going to finish reading Crescent City on live on the, we haven't picked a date, like the 24th or the 25th. Lauren!
But you'll know about it because... Hello, Lauren! She's here, she's joining the party.
You've probably got a tab next because I jumped like quite a bit without tabbing. And that's another thing. When I'm really enjoying a book, I'm not gonna remember to tab it. I'll just like keep reading, and then like when something happens, I'll be like, oh my goodness, stop, I forgot to tab. So like that's why I need to read books multiple times to finish tabbing them.
Gotcha.
We're amazing, Lauren. At least I'm answering for both of us. How are you, Marianna?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I was productive today, so
fabulous.
And I'm working, doing my favorite thing ever, so I'm happy about that.
How are you? How is AC? Hi, Abby.
Go to page 187 really quick to see if you actually can find this quote. It's toward the bottom of the page.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like in a paragraph, so I don't know if you'll be able to find it, but I'm curious to see if you have like the same general area. He'd spoken words which too often meant nothing and too rarely meant everything.
No.
No? It's not where you're at?
No. It's not there.
Oh, what are the current reads? I can't say what my current read is right now.
I was like, why not?
I'm not allowed to say.
Mine is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I am like, I know, right? I'm finally reading it.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm about the same way into Evelyn as I am Archer's Voice. Like I'm kind of reading them at the same time. But yeah, I'm enjoying them both. I have a very high expectations for Archer's Voice because I've heard so much about it. Evelyn Hugo, I get the feeling it's not going to disappoint because Taylor Jenkins Reid. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I did just finish 30 Lying Fairies. It was really good. Really simple, cute little quick read. The second book is coming out in August, so read it before the second one comes out because oh my gosh, I need more. Ugh. Anyway, okay. Next tab. You go. Your turn.
My next tab is like a big jump. It's on page 202.
Honestly, do it. Full send. Oh, wait. No, wait. I think this is the first time. It's really simple. On page 190, I think it's the first time he says you're an absolutely stunning, murderous little creature.
He says that a lot, okay, and I thought it was adorable. I absolutely loved that.
I think that's the first time, and I'm just like...
I loved it in the first book because he said it like enough, but then he just continuously kept saying it. And I was like, Hawk, be original. Find something new to say. It ended up frustrating me because he said it so much. And I was like, it was cute until you overdid it.
Well, because I think Carden calls Jude something similar in the proofread. And I love it. So when he said that, I was like, ooh. I got a little excited.
My next tab is on page 202.
Okay.
Looks like they're walking through some kind I don't know, I think they're going downstairs and he's like, "Watch your step. You trip and fall here, you're likely to take me out on your way down."
Okay.
And she's like, "I won't trip." And he's like, "But you just did." And she's like, "That's a rarity." And he's like, "Well, then I feel honored that I bore witness to it." I love their banter. I love their banter. I feel like that's something that gradually kind of turns into something different. But like in this book, they're more, it's not, I mean, I wouldn't say it's enemies. They're not enemies, but like they don't like each other.
No, I wouldn't say they're enemies either.
Like they're not the biggest
Who?
fans of each other, so their banter is immaculate and I love it so much.
Well, even still, like he went up to, oh gosh, how would you say her handmaid's name? Townie? Towie? No.
Tawny?
Tony? Okay. He like walked up to the door and Tony was like, the maiden's sleeping, and he's like, doubtful. And he just like barges in. And they're like, you can't be in here. He's like, I'm your personal guard. Yeah, I can't. He's just like, he just doesnn't care. He's like, we're doing it. He's like, no, wait, hold on. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. He's like, we're rolling with the punches here. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just spitballing because now I'm just really excited because we're getting into the good stuff. Because, yeah, the banter is really good. We'll just leave it at that. I need to stop talking. I'm ranting now. I get really excited and then my brain goes faster than my mouth and I realize I don't make sense. So I just need to...
It makes perfect sense. Don't even worry about it. I know what you're talking about.
That's okay. I just hope you can feel my excitement. That's all.
Absolutely, I can. Yes.
Great. Ooh, fear and bravery are often one and the same.
Oh, I love that one. I love that quote.
That's at 2L7 at the bottom. It either makes you a warrior or a coward. The only difference is the person that it resides inside. Wow, okay. Fear and bravery are often one and the same. It either makes you a warrior or a coward. The only difference is the person it resides inside. Resides inside. Say that 5 times fast. Okay. Next one.
Also, the fact that she's constantly wearing daggers underneath her dress. I love it.
There's gotta be like a slit in it, right? How would you, like, gonna hook up that skirt and, like, how would you get it, like, like, go girl, like, you know, what's that looking on you, but
it would almost take 5 minutes to, like, just go through this way.
Or maybe if it's, like, a 2-piece, she could go in, like, the band, you know?
Yeah. No, I assume there's a slit in the dress. Otherwise, that's just, like, ridiculous. Like, imagine your enemy, like, coming at you, and you're just like, hold up, give me a second, let me just, like, pull up my dress so I can get my dagger.
Yeah. And I don't think she's that tiny.
Until you realize the, like, impracticality of it. Like...
Yeah. Well, because I don't think, if I'm remembering correctly, I don't think she's tiny. I think she's at least, like, 5'7", 5'8"-ish, I think.
Yeah, and maybe she's 5'8" as well.
5'5", I don't know. So it'd be like a long skirt, you know what I mean? It's not just like...
It would be like us trying to, like, wear, like, a full ball gown, and then, like, have I showed you my like, ball gown for, like, the masquerade party we're going to? It would, like...
I don't think you put it on, though, because of physical reasons, but you did show it to me.
It would be like putting a dagger underneath that. Which I've got one. I have got one. Do you reckon if I showed my dagger here, it would, like, cancel our live?
I don't think so. Is it covered or is it... My dagger. That's a knife.
It is. More like a knife.
You are Australian.
When I bought it. Anyway.
Oh my goodness.
Imagine that's strapped to your thigh. That's a little bit impractical.
I think that's longer than my thigh.
Probably.
Becca's looking, you lock the door.
Yes, I can.
Oh my goodness. I love how she uses the live to tell you something. It's great.
Oh, my next tab is a pink tab, and it's when Hawk says, "You are absolutely magnificent." I love him.
He's just got like this swap, like the whole bodyguard trope. It's fun. The forced proximity, most of the time there is some sort of banter there, but
yeah,
Hawk just does it in a way that
Man's got a way with words.
I can't. Oh my god.
I think that's when she like snuck out. And there was like a war kind of going on, or like a battle or something, and she snuck out and was like helping, like shooting arrows and stuff, and he was like, what the hell are you doing out here? And she had like slippers on and a nightgown, and he's like, oh my word.
Oh my god, wait, I gotta find that now. Ooh, some things when spoken were given a life of their own. That's a really good quote too. He says it, isn't it like at the end of a chapter? Something about how next time if you leave your room, wear proper boots or something like that, because those slippers will be the death of you and that dress the death of me or something like that.
Yes.
I'm like, I remember.
Where am I? I'm on page like 239. Oh, here it is. Page 243. End of chapter 15.
The end of... Oh, I'm in 21. I'm way ahead.
And he's like, you're an absolutely stunning, murderous little creature. Nice weapon. Bloodstone and woven bone. Very interesting, princess. That's when he figured out that it was her, and she was like under the cape and everything, and she was like, damn it, like he figured it out through the dagger.
The dagger. Yeah.
And he's like, only pretty ladies with sharply bare legs. What are you doing up here during a craven attack? That's what it was, a craven attack, which, by the way, those things are terrifying. You've watched Game of Thrones. You know how I kind of low-key pictured them? Like different versions of the White Walkers.
Okay, you know what's funny? If I'm thinking of the right thing, when Matthew and I were watching that, when they first came on screen, I was like, from Blood and Ash. I was like, whoa, Raven. I was like, whoa. Yeah, I kind of, we're on the same page. We're on the same page here. And it's kind of funny how many similarities there are between, well, I guess they're all books. At the end of the day, they're all books.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
They're all books.
So, it's got to be...
Oh, I got it. It's page 267, end of chapter 17. And he's like, I ask only one thing of you. The next time you go out, wear better shoes and thicker clothing. Those slippers are likely to be the death of you, and that dress the death of me. You got it like word for word, girl.
The way that my brain just holds on to these little quotes. just holds on to them for
We're talking about From Blood and Ash, the first book in the series. Have you read it?
This is going to be kind of spoilery, just so you guys know.
It is. It's going to be spoilery, yeah. But yeah, that. You got it. I love that you got that.
Now I'm like wondering what other quotes I remember. Probably a lot from The War of Two Queens, which someone hasn't read either, but we don't have to talk about it.
Look, do you want me to read Crescent City or that one?
I know you can read more than one book at once.
Oh,
don't even try.
Like
both. Read both. Where is your next tab, darling?
Page 271, and she's talking to Victor. Which, you know, like all I see when I say Victor is the guy in like the red jumpsuit. I'm pretty sure his name is Victor, like the cartoon guy. Anyway, I don't know.
Are you talking about from Despicable Me?
Yeah, Victor.
I think he calls himself Vector, and he wears an orange jumpsuit, and he's all like,
Oh,
like gets all excited. I'm like, you do you, boo. You do you. But sure. Okay, so what's the tab? What's the tab?
Oh
What's the
yeah.
tab?
And he's basically telling her to be like careful about Hawk. And he's like, he's an attractive young man, and she's like, that has nothing to do with it. And he's like, and you've been surrounded by old men like me. And she's like, you're not that old. And he's like, thanks, I think. I loved Victor. I loved their kind of relationship with one another. He was kind of like a father figure to her, because she didn't have that. Yeah.
I love him. He's a great character.
He is.
Yep.
We will get to his story in a few chapters.
Yeah.
When's your next tab?
I'm like wishing that I had some sort of system here because every purple tab is something different. So I'm wondering if I should go back and like replace them. But if I were to do that, it would have been for this. And now we're already doing this, so there's no point. So here we go. What's your next tab?
My next tab's on 283. And it's with Hawk and Poppy.
Hawk and Poppy. The one that I have is on 253. And it's just him saying interesting. And she's like, what is? And he's like, you. And I'm like, damn you.
I just love how he went into it.
You, Hawk.
And like we spoke about it like earlier when it's like he just didn't expect her. Like he kind of went in with the assumptions of like what she'd be like. And she just like completely baffled him. And he was just like, huh. Like I thought wrong about you. And I love that.
Mm-hmm. Their relationship is definitely unique in its own way. And I love it.
Oh, stop it. When he's like, he says Tawny leaves after kind of like, bantering with Hawk, and he's like, I really do like her. And Poppy's like, I'm sure she'd love to hear that. And then Hawk goes, would you love to hear that I really like you? And she's like, would you be sad if I said no? And he's like, I'd be devastated.
Oh my god, I just saw that somewhere. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. Hold the phone. Where did I just see that? Wait, what page is that for you?
283.
That's on 222 for me.
What? I mean, like, look how thick my copy is, because it's the paperback. It's one of the first paperbacks that was sold. Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, so I skipped over that one because I was like, oh, she's already on 283. No, that's literally... He is so... I don't want to say vulnerable, because he does kind of have that wall up, but...
He's very open with her, though. Like, but...
If she asks, he'll answer. It's one of those type deals.
Yeah.
Like
only very surface level.
Question.
Hello.
Okay, so wait, now that I'm back and kind of where you are, in chapter 20, I know I posted this on our Instagram account. Sometimes remembering those who died means facing your own mortality.
Yeah, you did. I remember you posting that.
Something about that hit hard, and I was like, whoa.
I love it.
Yeah, because when he says interesting, she says what is, and he says you are, that's in chapter 22.
Yeah. What chapter am I in?
Somehow I got way further. I don't know why
I'm in chapter 21. Let me tell you my tab.
Okay. Go ahead.
And Hawk's like, oh my gosh, it's when she was hiding on like the outside of like the library kind of area, like on the wall. And Hawk's like, you still out there, princess? And she's like,
oh.
And he's like, oh, have you fallen to your death? I really hope that's not the case, since I'm pretty positive that would reflect poorly on me, since I assumed you were in your room, behaving, and not on a ledge several dozen feet in the air, for reasons I can't even begin to fathom. I love him.
This is the book.
He's like, get inside. And she's like, you could say please.
She's like, hi. She's like, hi. No, there's fan art of this scene, and I just every time I have to stop and look at it because there's a new detail that I see every single time, and it's just so funny because they have just such good spatial awareness of each other already. And I think later on I even tab something that has to do with that, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Unless I've already passed it.
And then where... Because isn't this when she has the, oh my gosh, it so is. And he's just like, what's this? And it's the book. And she's like, don't. And he like rips it out of her hands. And he's like, the Diary of Miss Willett Collins? Why does that name sound familiar? Obviously, he knows her.
Yep, we're doing spoilers, all right.
Oh, yeah, whoops. Sorry. I mean, I say it in the name of the thing. Spoilery.
Yeah.
Besides, it's been out long enough. But, like, spoilers, guys. If you didn't read the name of this live before joining, there's spoilers.
Spoilers.
And then she's like, oh my gosh, of course he can read. And then he's flicking through it, and he's like, what interesting reading material. The way I would die, the way I would instantly, like, if I was Poppy in that situation, I'd simply pretend I didn't know him any longer and walk out the room. I'd be like, you're fired. You're no longer my bodyguard. Like, leave. Get out. Like, I'm never allowing anybody that, like, doesn't read books into my room because they'll walk in and, knowing my luck, they'll pick up a book that's just extremely spicy. Like, maybe they'll pick up one of these books and flick to that page. Like, you know, that page. And read it. And I'll be like, no. It's awkward enough
reading, when Poppy.
Dead. I'm dead. Like...
Anyway, I just text that to people randomly. I'll just be like, keep reading, Poppy, send, and not say anything else. I won't say anything else.
If you know, you know. If you don't, then you're missing out.
If you don't, read the book.
Read the book.
If you don't read the book.
Oh my gosh, and then he's laughing, and he's like, how much of this have you read? And she's like, that's none of your business. And he's like, probably not, but I need to know if you got to this part.
And then he starts reading it, and she's
reading it.
Oh my gosh.
I forgot about that. Oh my gosh. No. I would pass out. I've got so many tabs from this scene. Oh, and he's like, I have selective hearing. I love that. Of course he does. Out of all the people, like, I'm not surprised that that's Hawk.
Absolutely, he does.
Absolutely. Where's your next tab?
Oh. Well, that technically would have been the interesting what is you. But we'll jump forward. Ooh, okay, so this is in chapter, I want to say 23. And this is kind of talking about that like that spatial awareness thing they kind of got going on. The back of my neck tingled, and the strongest sense of awareness swept over me. I couldn't explain it, but I knew that when I looked over my shoulder, I would see him. There's some sort of, like, intimate little... Like, I don't know how to explain it. Something about being completely aware of where the other one is just makes me very happy, and I don't know why.
Love that it's not in a creepy way. You know, it can't relate unless you're talking about when you can feel that someone's looking at you and it's, like, creepy.
Yeah.
I vibe with that.
I don't.
I'll be like...
No. I don't like when that happens, but...
No. Or the like awkward eye contact you make with people, and it's just like when you turn to look at someone and they're already looking at you, and it's like, Anyway, I just turned from this, like, super cute into, like, anyway.
You really took it and ran the other way.
totally get what you mean.
This way.
My tab is like in the same area, and he's like, I was wrong earlier when I said you looked lovely, and she's like, what? And he's like, you look absolutely exquisite, Poppy. I love it.
He's also very blunt.
Hawk, yeah.
I don't know if he's more blunt now or later, but he's blunt.
I think, in all honesty, I think he was more blunt in this book. Probably. Oh, we can talk spoilers. I can say why. Because he's, like, taking on this persona. Like, so he was able to kind of... He didn't have to worry about what he said. Like, he was somebody else, in a way. So I reckon he's a very different person in this book to the next books, which isn't a bad thing. I love him in all of them, but it's more of like a rebellious, I can do what I want and say what I want in this book, and I think that's why I loved it. But like I also understand why he can't be like that in the other ones. But yeah, I reckon it's more this book than the others that he's like that.
He is very playful generally, but I understand what you're saying when there's like this persona he's trying to put on in a rebellious type of way, and it's flattering. It's flattering. Best I could say.
The quote where he says only the bad can be influenced, princess. Oh my gosh! I love that. You got it.
I just flipped to it and you go,
Only the bad.
Oh my gosh. Did I post that yet?
I think we posted it. I don't know if it was you or me, but I'm pretty sure I remember seeing it on the feed.
Okay. Because I know it's either up or it's going up. I know that. Only the bad can be influenced. I love him. I love him. He's great.
Okay. My next tab is when he says, I did, and I'll say it again, I don't care what you are. I care about who you are.
Oh!
I love that.
Oh, I need to find that. Where is that?
For me, it's page 363 in chapter 24.
24? Okay, so it's in here somewhere.
It's a few pages into 24 for me, but it might be closer for you.
If you do, I'm sorry about your friend. It's not wrong, princess. I think it's just the way the mind and your heart work. You haven't seen your brother-in-law since he left for the capital. He writes often as he can, usually. And really cherished it and miss him. Baby. Is this when they're like dressed?
I'm pretty sure it's near the battle scene. Like, you know, when that whole thing goes down?
I was gonna say the willow.
Yeah, when he takes her.
We're about to go under the tree.
Oof. Yeah. That's when it happens, at least. And he's like, oh my gosh, the quote when he says, nothing's ever simple, and when it is, it's really ever worth it. That reminds me of the thing, and I always say it, like, the nothing worthwhile ever comes easy. I find it funny when it's like, you read quotes that are simple to, like, similar to, like, things you've seen outside of books. Did you find it?
No, I'm looking for it, but I think, do you have it on T-Stained, or do you have it drafted? Because I can go back later.
Probably.
Okay. Because we're under the tree right now, and I'm just like, oh boy. It's like a whole different world.
It is. When's your next tab?
technically we're already there.
Or when she asks him to kiss her, and then he's just like, "You don't have to ask me twice, princess, and you never have to beg."
Oh my.
How cute.
Just keep reading, and
I don't think I have a tab throughout the whole battle.
I apparently have, I think, her monologue tabbed. I was probably prepping a scene for it. Where she's talking about how she can't celebrate her birthdays and how it's like ungodly and all this and that, and he's just like, Poppy. Like he's just like, girl. Like, oh my gosh. From Blood and Ash will rise. Good riddance with the Duke, though, I will say that.
I know. But you know, like the whole battle, how it kind of went down. Oh, what is it? What is it?
Remember that. I warned sitting down. I don't think I can read this out loud because she's like slaughtering him. And this. She's just like going to town. And I'm very proud of her. Long story short. Yeah, she's like, you know, and I'm just like, yes, go girl. It made me very happy. And I don't know if this specifically reminded me of something else, but I think it's one of the first moments we kind of get to see Poppy not crack or break, but break through a little bit.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, it does. It does. Totally get that. The whole battle scene, like, and when that happens, it reminded me so much of the Red Wedding, like, just the absolute slaughter that happened. I was like, oh my gosh, like, everyone is just dropping. This is insane.
Dropping like flies.
Like, there was no mercy.
Left and right, and it was like the middle of the book, so I was like, oh, like shit, what are we gonna get into at the end? I was like, oh no, where are we going? I got a little scared. But my next tab is towards the beginning of chapter 30.
Oh, sorry, what did you say? Chapter 30?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And they're with they're with Kieran.
Mm-hmm.
My man. And is it when she pulls out the book from the satchel? Is it? Yes. I knew it. I died when he's just like, oh yeah, like I brought something for you. Just like grab it in the bag, and she pulls it out, and it's Willa Collins' book. and she's like, what the hell?
God. This book is the most prized possession in all of these. In all these books, that book is the only thing those two care about. That is their child.
Yeah. I need a copy of Willa Collins. Like, can Jen please write it for me? And like, because I will buy that shit. I need
I'll be right there with you.
Possession.
But yeah, no, it's when he like lays down behind her and they're just like doing their little thing, and Kieran's like, oh my God.
I need to know though how Hawke got his hands on the diary, because he's just like, I have my ways, I'll never tell. It's like, did he have a copy? Do you reckon there's multiple? Is there multiple copies of her diary? Because like I 100% believe that Hawke would like have his own copy of the book.
He could have, but also knowing Hawke, he has special abilities that we're probably unaware of even to this day.
Probably. So... Speaking of, actually, I was going to ask you, like, with how the whole thing kind of happened, like, you know how, like, those bodies were turning up and, like, nobody knew what it was, and then, like, she was researching stuff, and, like, it was, like, Atlanteans or something, I can't remember what they were called, but, they were mentioned, like, and a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, the massive plot twist when you found out that it was, like, that's what he is. And I was like, was that really a plot twist? I felt like it was quite obvious the way that she wrote it, that like that was who he was. Like, I don't know if, like, and I wrote it in the review that we'll be posting up tonight, that I kind of felt like it was very predictable. At least this first book. I'm not talking about the other ones and what happens in those, but I felt like everything that happened in book 1 was very predictable. And it's kind of like the outline was very basic for a bodyguard romance, which is like, okay, I still really enjoyed it, and I can talk about this and fangirl over it and all of the characters, but I just found that it was quite, I knew everything that was going to happen. Nothing really shocked me.
I can't really comment on the writing because I knew going in that this was going to be like a Twilight times 10.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew they were going to be, I knew they were going to be like kind of vampires and like werewolves kind of going on type-esque things. I just didn't know when they started mentioning the names of things. Basically, I had to like, okay, so because there's like multiple types of vampires. Basically, you have like the Ethiopians, and then you have like the vampires or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And then you have like the it's not werewolves, but what are they? What's Kieran? What do they call them?
I know what you're talking about, but
it's gonna bug me. Anyway, but yeah, so I kind of already knew going in that he was gonna end up. I just didn't expect. Well, no, actually, I kind of did a little bit. The idea of like instead of it being vampires versus werewolves, they actually work together and are like bonded together to like fight a not like a lesser vampire, but like a different type of vampire.
Like they weren't enemies.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So we're laying on the ground in the forest.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And she's like, this is wildly inappropriate.
Honestly, everything he does is almost wildly inappropriate.
It really is.
Inappropriate's like his middle name. Like let's just start there.
Funny, because actually his middle name.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so the next tab after that is red, so we're gonna skip. I'm gonna be honest with you though, I always forget about this scene.
Which scene?
Their first time sleeping together.
Oh, does that happen in this book?
Whenever I think of like the first
it does.
scene is when he bites her towards the end. Like I always forget anytime I'm thinking, because everyone raved about how spicy this book is. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not that spicy. The rest of the books are freaking jalapeno peppers, but like this one, it's okay. It's got spice. It's just not like the spiciest book ever that it was like made out to be. But I literally always forget about this scene. I don't know why. But I think it's because it's so like vanilla. If you know what I mean. Like there's like not much happens. Like you're just like, all right, one and done. And then we're moving on. But the next tab that I have after that. Oh, Delano. I love Delano. I almost named Cedar Delano. And
you did.
Oh my god, that would have been a time. That would have been a time. Where's your next tab, darling? Woo! I'm dropping so much popcorn right now.
I don't think I have another tab.
Really?
I just like smashed through the rest of it and forgot to tab everything. But this was when she found out about the whole betrayal-esque. Isn't it this one? Oh, wait. I don't know why I didn't tab this. And he's like, touch her and you'll lose more than a hand this time. Stop it. It's like, I love it. It's like, that is on par with Who Hurt You for me. Like,
yeah. I'm sitting here reading the scene where Hawk and Poppy are like rolling around fighting each other. And Kieran's like, damn. And so Delano's like, should we intervene? And Elijah's like, no, this is the best thing I've seen in a very long time. He's like, no, this is the best thing I've seen in a while. Who would have thought that the maiden could throw down? And I'm just like, I love you. I'm just like,
iconic.
It's one thing to be like in a brawl, like when the love interests are like fighting and rolling around and like, you know, trying to escape one another or like beat each other up, whatever. And then there's always the friend or the group of friends that are just like, wow. They're just like.
Oh, I love it when the friends make bets. Like,
oh my God.
And then like
even better.
Finally they break and they kind of end up together and they're like $10. Mm-hmm. That's what it feels like with like Kieran and Delano.
Oh my gosh, yes. I can't remember what they're fighting about specifically, because she's rolling around like, stop it, get off me, and he's like, calm down.
Like, stabbed him?
I don't think that's right now. I don't know, is it?
I thought it was, because then she runs, and he's like, don't touch her, like she's mine.
No, I think that's little bit no, that's a little bit later because I see the next red tab. I think this is when she finds out that she like wakes up and she like realizes what was happening when she was sort of kind of maybe just a little bit unconscious. Love you too. And she realizes that he's an Ethiopian and that the others are like they're not human or they're not mortal or whatever, and she's like freaking out about it.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to calm her down and like get her to realize what's kind of going on. And the other three are just standing there watching Hawk try to chill Poppy out. And they're just like, wow. They're just like, oh my God. Because then I want to say like, whoa, before the War II King. Whoa! Oh, I forgot about that. Okay. I can't say anything. How are we doing on time? Okay. Uh-oh. Are you still here?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Okay. I think she kind of like accepts it a little bit and she's just like, okay, I gotta play it cool. And then she ends up falling back asleep, I think. She wakes up next to, if I'm remembering this correctly, she wakes up next to Hawk, then stabs him, and then goes running. I'm pretty sure. And then that's when they're like dancing in the woods. Because he like catches up to her as she's like running away from the cottage or the little village that they got kind of going on. And he bites her. And then he like lets go and he's like, whoa, what the hell? And she just like keeps running or something like that. Like she like gets away from him and keeps running deeper into the woods. So then he takes off after her again. And then they fumble around and they have their little fun. And then I think after that is when wait, this has gotta be yeah. So when they get back, this is when she takes a bath. This is like my favorite scene in this entire book.
Yeah.
I think you know what I'm gonna say. I'm just like going off about the end of the book, but I just love this scene. She's like chilling in the bathtub and, you know, cleaning herself off or whatever, and Kieran's just sitting there. And she's like, excuse me, and he's like, what? Like, what's the matter? And she's like, she goes something, among my people, it's not polite to stare at a naked woman in the bathtub. And he's just like, your people sound incredibly boring. Like, I think in that moment, I fell in love with Kieran. I think that was the moment. I was like, yep. I was like, I love you.
I love that man so much. My whole soul. What about, though, when...
he reminded me... Go ahead.
When she's injured, like, she's, like, hurt, and he finds her, Hawk finds her, and he's like, open your eyes, puppy, come on, I need you to open your eyes, please.
Yeah.
And when he says to her, you won't carry one more scar, I'll make it all go away, I was like, oh. Like, that's when you can kind of tell he genuinely cares about her. Like, I feel like, obviously, like, you could tell that he liked her and he had said, like, a bunch of things to her. But with Hawk, I mean, with anyone, really, like, actions speak louder than words. And so when he was, like, genuinely, like, he wasn't playing around, he wasn't joking, like, throughout this whole scene, like, this whole chapter even, he never cracked a joke, like, because she was actually, like, dying. And he's like, you can't die, like, I won't allow it. Like, I was like, okay, he genuinely, like, I actually like this. I like what's happening with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you could... I just feel bad for the guy because he keeps going through it, too. And there's a point where you can just kind of tell it clicks for her a little bit. I think in the way that she perceives like his facial expressions and how he's talking to Kieran and how he's talking to the others about like what to do and like how to help her to like get through it. And it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
It's just, oh, I love it. I love it.
And then I nearly died inside, right? And there's so many. I think I sent you like a meme about it once when he's like, "Puppy," and she's like, "What?" She's like, "Stop thinking what you're thinking." She's like, "How do you know what I'm thinking?" And he's like, "I know." and, then, and he's like, and Kieran's literally just there, and he's kind of just like, and she literally, I think there's a line, and there's a line where it says Kieran just like slips out the door, and I'm like, poor Kieran, like
Lola's gone.
He's just always there at the most inconvenient times.
Oh god, there's a lot of similarities, and it's not because of their hair. There's a lot of similarities between Hunt and Bryce and Poppy and Hawk.
Yes, there is.
As well as Kieran and Ethan.
Yeah.
And at some point, it's comical. It's comical, but
yeah.
I love them. I love them. I can't help it.
I can't wait to talk about Ethan. Like, I've got so much to say about him. But back to From Blood and Ash. I just pulled up to the line where she, like, stabs him in the heart. And she's like, "I'm sorry." And he's like, "No, you're not."
Oh my god, yeah. He's like, "You're crying." And she's like, ugh. Oh my god. Yeah, okay. I love how I just, like, flipped right to it. Yeah, she's, like, staggering out the door, like, running away from him. And then she's, like, instantly regretting it.
But then they're, like, together in the snow, which, by the way, would be freezing. Literally freezing.
Yeah. I don't care what's going on. Ain't no reason to be laying in the snow.
No, like, that man's got super speeds. I'd be like, "Sir, pick me up and take me inside."
You're in, like, this full heated moment. You're like, wait a minute.
Hold up.
You're like, stop what you're doing. Pick me up. Take me to...
Yep.
Oh my gosh. That'd actually be kind of funny. That would be kind of funny. But that's pretty much because I already talked about the end scene with Kieran.
Yeah, that's where I'm kind of at now, where the whole, like, cleaning up and everything.
It's my favorite freaking scene. Because he reminded me so much of Niall from Duplicity in that moment. And I love Niall. And there was, like, that, like, familiar, I think the familiar, what's the word I'm trying to say? Familiarity?
Yeah.
The similarity between the two. It was familiar and it was comforting, and I was like, all right, I love you now. So, yeah, there you go. The end. The end. Oh my gosh. I remember, wait.
What about when, where is it?
Oh.
When Kieran opened his mouth, "Don't test me." And then Kieran just laughed and walked away.
Don't test me.
It's on page 605 for me.
Well, there's only like 400 pages or 500 pages in this book. So I'm like,
oh damn, chapter 41.
Okay. Yes? No? Maybe?
Oh my gosh, and that's the same one when she's like, "There's something wrong with you," and he's like, "That may be true, but what's also true is the fact that I will not let you put yourself in unnecessary danger." And I'm like, "Aww." Although
the bare minimum really just hits the bar. Like, someone says that they'll protect another person, and we're all like, "Oh, that's so sweet. That's so nice."
Minimum. However, I find that adorable and I love it in books, but it's just like a lot of the time something that I find attractive or cute in books. If somebody said it to me in real life, I'd be like,
I'd be like, I can take care of myself.
I'd be like, sir.
Who do you think you're talking to? Yeah. Yeah, literally. And the way that he just had to, they're all having dinner, you know, we're all just, ooh, he had to be like, yeah, we're getting married. Like, yeah. He's like, by the way, everybody.
We go home to marry my princess. Oh my gosh, and that's it. Then it's like,
oh, I just found it. Don't test me. But he's not Hawk at this point, is he?
What?
He's not Hawk at this point, is he?
No, I mean, she found out. Yeah, she found out who he was. Cass.
Who? I need to like go back to that scene now and be like, who was? I think it was Kieran, wasn't it? He was the first one to be like Cass.
Yeah, and she was like, he called you Cass, and she was like, and he's like, it's short for Castile.
Yeah.
Kieran spilled the beans.
Dumb dog, why are you following me?
My gosh, puppy!
Puppy!
Oh my gosh, yeah. I didn't even think of that.
Puppy! That's so cute.
See if she comes upstairs.
Aww. Yeah, well, you gotta go get Poppy now. You gotta do that. I don't know what I'm supposed to do to entertain y'all while she's gone. But, hello, how are you? How was your guys' day, Ben? Oh my gosh, I forgot. I've got helium balloons. Wait till she comes back. This popcorn is really good. Can't stop eating it. Huh. Even still, I haven't eaten that much of it. I'm like savoring it, which is rare for me. Usually I'm like, let's see if she brings back Poppy. Oh no! I keep dropping the popcorn. Me just knowing that this whole thing's gonna be on YouTube is scary for me. But I also kind of love it at the same time. For people to go back and revisit it later. See, I feel like I have to be entertaining and I don't know what to do to be entertaining, but I'm looking at the helium balloons going, that could be entertaining. But I don't know what I would say. That'd be kind of funny though. I mean, I got 3 of them. I wonder if I should do that with Amelia. I don't know, we'll see. But if you haven't read From Blood and Ash already, I think she said that the review will be up tonight. And generally, I'm a little scared because I can't remember if we've written it already. So I either have to write it or we've already got it written. But she's not here. So now I'm like, I don't know. Did we already write our review for From Blood and Ash or do we have to?
Yeah. I've got it. That's why I grabbed
my laptop. Okay, good. I was like, ugh.
This is Poppy.
You guys shaved her down.
We did. She couldn't see and we had to like put a little ponytail on her head because it like... say hi.
She's gotten a lot bigger than
she has.
When I saw her last.
She's much bigger than our other puppers. Aren't you? You're such a big girl. Yes.
So, I've got helium balloons. We've been on live, I want to say, well, you were on a couple minutes before I was, for about an hour. Mm-hmm. A little over an hour, I think. Which, without actually timing it or, like, planning what we were going to do, it's pretty good.
Pretty
considering your thoughts.
I know. Oh. Say bye. Bye. There you go. You can run free. Oh my gosh. No, yeah, I've got the review.
Okay. I got a little scared. I was like, I don't remember if we've already written that or not.
We did. But... we wrote it at the same time we wrote the Crescent City. Crescent City. We were like on a roll that day. We just absolutely smashed it out.
We really were.
No.
Becca says you're only on chapter 36.
No, I've read more than that. It's downstairs.
You have? Oh, thank goodness.
No, yeah, no, I told you. I was just like, I'm almost at the end. Like, I'm nearly done. That's why I stopped reading, because I was just like, I'm waiting for the live.
Do you know what chapter you're on?
I can check. It's downstairs.
Okay, because I think Becca first told me around 71, but I think we can start, although you do read quite fast. 70. Oh, Sarah is Sarah. But I don't want to spoil anything nor really get into another topic.
But that's going to be our next live.
Yeah, this will be next. Date will be announced on probably all our socials when we pick that. I love that. Love. Overall rating for From Blood and Ash before we end this live.
I believe I gave it 4 stars.
I think I did the same because it's not as spicy as they let out to be, but it's definitely spicy. Yes. It's the later books that really get it going, to say the least. So, yeah, 4 out of 5. Recommend thoroughly. I love these characters. The love of my life is in this book. Not much, unfortunately, but he's in there. So, yeah.
Absolutely recommend it. I always recommend. It's one of those books that I'm just like, if you liked, like if you liked, what's the book that it's similar to? Kind of like ACOTAR. Like if people like ACOTAR, I kind of go, you'll probably like From Blood and Ash. Mainly because of the whole, like, the male characters are very similar, and the overall Poppy and Castile is very similar to Rhys and Feyre in certain aspects, like the kind of relationship they end up having. So I'm kind of like, if you like ACOTAR, you'll like From Blood and Ash, vice versa. Not so much. Not so much. And then as well, what is it? Vampire Academy, which I don't know if you've read that, but
no, I'm usually not really into the whole vampires and werewolf thing, but if it's involved with other stuff going on, then yeah, I'll read it. But I never, because I've never read Twilight. But my mom was very obsessed with those when they came out, and then my sister, I think, started to read them but never finished. Yeah. Have fun if you haven't read it already. But also, I hope you didn't watch this whole live without reading the book.
Oh yeah, that
even though I appreciate it. I'm very, very sorry if we just spoiled this whole book for you. But yeah, that's it. Much love.
Amazing. We can end. Should we end our live?
I kind of don't want to. Like, do we just end this one so we can post it and then start another one?
We can. Depends. What do we want to talk about in the next one?
I don't know.
What time is it for you?
7:54.
Oh, it's only like early. I love how that's early for you. Normally it's like, oh, it's 2 a.m. And I'm like, oh.
Well, we started around, I want to say like 6:45-ish.
Okay, that's not bad.
So it was a lot earlier than 11 o'clock.
Well, have you read any of the books that you might be reading?
No, so I'm almost wondering if we should end this live in Skype so that I can.
Yeah, because then I can see your, like, reactions.
You do what you want to do.
I say we do that, and I'll work on posting our blog and, like, get all of the, like, stuff happening. But you said I needed to start it, don't you? The Skype.
Oh, you don't have to start the Skype if you don't want to. Oh, although if you want to save it, record it, and all that fun stuff, probably.
I can try. I can try, but if it doesn't work, that doesn't matter. I'll just be like, no, my Skype's playing up. But yes, we'll be off. I'll send you the link.
Check out YouTube. You should check that out, and check out Instagram and our blog, Tea Stain Pages, and our merch and our to-do dads in the jigglies. I don't know what I'm saying. our little do-si-dos. Our tagalongs. Girl Scout cookies. No, I'm kidding. We don't have Girl Scout cookies, but yeah.
We love everybody.
Sounds good.
Now I just need to figure out how to end this live.
There's a power button looking thing in the corner.
Oh, okay.
Bye. Bye.